Okay, let's see here. Can you guys see that? Picture of my damaged truck. Yep. Okay. So this is my little Toyota truck. Some people say they're bulletproof, unbreakable, but I found out the hard way. Then, as you can see, snow on the ground. This was the day after Christmas, so a couple months ago now. I was driving to Home Depot, and a guy who shouldn't have been driving spun out in front of me, and I T-boned him, and that was the result. Pretty bad. Unfortunately, I was not able to drive it away because there was mechanical damage, so I had to get it towed. And that kind of started down the journey of getting my truck fixed and getting it back on the road, because I love this little red truck, and it's kind of my hobby / my to and from work when I don't have my work truck. But thankfully I was insured. The other guy was not, so that kind of sucks for him, I guess. But insurance was able to look after me, so we kind of got it assessed and everything like that. And I went down the path of we can just take it to a body shop and get them to fix it, or I could fix it myself. But in the end, the insurance company totaled it. And so that was kind of disappointing. But fortunately, through the blessing of the Lord, I was able to buy it back off them minus what it was insured for. So I ended up getting like a pretty decent payout. Plus I got to keep my truck. So now I'm going to get it fixed myself. And so I talked to a couple body shops, and in the end, no one ever got back to me. No one wanted to, a couple guys I spoke to were booked 3 months out. So that's not going to happen. And obviously my car's not drivable. Some of them said, "Oh, just bring it in and we'll give we'll do an estimate." I'm like, well, I can't bring it in unless it's on a trailer. So that was kind of a catch-22, and that didn't work out for me. So then I went down the road of, maybe I can fix it myself. And I started looking up parts. And so then I got, long story short, I ended up getting it towed back to my house. And then there it is sitting in the garage. The whole front end is torn off, so I can see exactly what needs to be done. And now I start looking a lot closer what can be done to fix it. So parts, because of COVID, can't buy any parts online, can't do anything. So I'm getting more and more disheartened at this point and thinking that, I'll never be able to get it fixed. But then I went to a wrecking yard out just about 40 minutes away, and I was able to find everything I needed to fix it out there. But in the meantime, I found a truck on Craigslist that was a good price. It's like $2,000. Body looked like it was pretty straight, and I just needed an engine. So I'm like, sweet, I'll just take the engine out of my truck. If you can see the red, my engine's brand new. I just put that engine in that truck not too long ago. So it would have been a shame to send that to the junkyard just over a little bit of a dent, this side's all crumpled in. So I was messaging backwards and forwards with this guy, and it just basically went nowhere. So the swapping the engine into a new body into a better body that was off the table. So now the only option left is to fix it myself. But the only problem is I'm a mechanic and I don't know anything about bodywork. So that's a bit of a dilemma I found myself in. And I kind of went backwards and forwards, just looking at it, sat in the garage for months, just trying to figure out what the plan is. So eventually I was watching lots and lots of YouTube videos and trying to learn as much about bodywork as possible. And I was kind of doubting myself a little bit, but we'll just go to a quick scripture here, and mine and AV's favorites. Joshua 1, verse 9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and of good courage. Do not be afraid, nor be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. So I had that scripture on my mind, kind of had the attitude of, you know what, I don't know anything about bodywork, but I'm going to have a go and I can do this. Like plenty of videos on YouTube of guys cutting and fixing stuff, and they've never done it before. So, you know, if they can do it, I can do it. You know, just the Lord's blessed it so far. I was able to find all those parts that I needed at the junkyard to fix it. So with that attitude in mind and, you know, just putting it to the Lord, I started. I took a day off work last week and just spent some solid time working on my truck. Some more pictures of, like, see in this corner up here where it's all folded in, that's basically, you can't pull that out. It's done. So I had to come up with the option. Started preparing it, pulling all the wiring harnesses off. So you're trying to get ready to replace the whole front end. And then finally the point of no return came. I took an angle grinder and I cut the whole front end off. And I'm like, well, you know what? There's no going back now. So we're diving straight into fixing it. I will just turn to Psalm 34 and verse 4. I sought the Lord and he heard me and delivered me from all my fears. And that's kind of how I was feeling before the moment before I took the angle grinder to my truck. I was kind of nervous, you know, like what happens if I like cut something wrong or do the wrong thing. And but you know, it's kind of, I'm at peace with it now. I've got a plan. I know what I'm doing. Got the Lord behind me. We just tackling this project I've never done before. But you know what? How we're always going to be doing things we've never done before. And like, I know where I got to be careful. Don't want to cut into the firewall or go past the body or anything like that. So just be careful, take it slow. And I'm actually pretty happy with the way things are going right now. Just need some more time. You know, it's with your family and all that stuff. It's time, you know, working a full-time job, time's at a premium, but just do little bits here and there, slowly but surely. And I'm sure in good time, it'll all come together. So I've got a plan. We'll go across to Matthew chapter 10. Now, for those of you who aren't motoring enthusiasts, it's kind of said that the engine is the soul of the vehicle, obviously you got the body, engine's the soul, you got the tires and stuff like that. And when the accident happened, my very immediate fear was the front impact had done damage to the engine. And the reason why that is like I said, that's a brand new engine, doesn't even have 5,000 miles on it. I'm like, if there's anything wrong with the engine, if that's damaged, then this truck's done. But after tearing it down and looking at it, I know when I first started, the truck didn't run, and that's because the distributor up the top here had gotten cracked, which means there was no spark going to the spark plugs. So I swapped the distributor cap out, plugged everything back in, and she fired right up, and I was able to drive it into the garage where it sits there. So that's another blessing, that there's nothing wrong with the motor. The frame didn't get bent. So all it was body work that needs to get done. And I found this scripture, which I think was quite fitting. So Matthew chapter 10 and verse 28. Do not fear those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul, but rather fear him who is able to destroy both the soul and the body. So in my sense, in my case, the soul was left intact and we just had damage to the body. So I have nothing to fear. And that's the same in our spiritual life. Is like we can be attacked in our bodies with sickness and attack our health. And I know, like, especially with a sister Ange over in Athens, and, you know, Cass and I were sick when Cass was supposed to be going to camp, and Freya we were all sick, where our bodies were under attack, but fortunately our souls remained intact. As with the case of my truck here, it's the soul's still good, so we can, anything that happens to the body we can fix, but if anything happens to our souls, then that's what we've got to be scared of. So yeah, I'd like to leave it there. So there's another angle there. So the whole front end's gone. We're going to weld on a new one, get it all painted up, and in a couple months, who knows, maybe a year, I'll be posting pictures of my truck back together and in one piece. Lord willing. But anyway, I would like to leave it there.
Amen.
And we'll hand over to Pastor Mark.
And spotlight. Perfect, Josh. That's oh, are you stop recording?